traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here with us today.
Thank you, everyone. We begin today in the memory of our fallen compatriots, the heroes of our country who have fought, bled and died not only for their own freedom, but for the freedom, peace and security of the world. They gave up their lives in the fight against pure evil. So join me in a minute of silence to honor their souls.
بچه یک دقیقه سایلنسه.
It's a minute of silence, everyone. Thank you.
وایسا هیچی نگو هیچی نگو هیچی نگو
Thank you, everyone. To keep the orders of the gathering today, please refrain from shouting from the middle of the crowd because we do have a lot of programs that we need to go through and we have so little time. So please keep the order and we will be chanting, but just please don't abruptly chant in the middle of the crowd. A couple of housekeepings before we start. Please cooperate with the marshals and comply with the Australian laws. We have New South Wales Police here. If they ask you to do something, please cooperate with them. And please remain respectful and patient as we have speeches from representatives from across the nation. دوستان عزیز خواهش میکنم برای اینکه نظم برنامه امروز برجا بمونه لطفاً از نظر جمعیت این شعار ندین دلجاشون شعار تموم کنید چون برنامه خودش رو داره و خیلی دوستان اومدن اینجا و برای ما صحبت‌ها رو آماده کردن و ما دوست داریم که تمام این صحبت‌ها رو بشنویم. لطفاً اجازه بدید که صحبت‌ها بشه و ما خودش شعار هم خواهیم داد و لطفاً همکاری کنید با گروه انتظامات و پلیس و اگر بهتون اخطاری داده میشه مخصوصاً برای ورود کردن به وسط خیابون به خاطر امنیت خودتون هست لطفاً به همون
Good afternoon, everyone. I absolutely love the energy here. You know, this is the army of the Shah. We are here to show the world that we want to take back our country and we will be successful in doing so. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone to this event. My name is Seper, I'm from Brisbane, and I will be your MC for today alongside Melika. Before we start the program, we must say that the Islamic Republic's representative, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, an IRGC commander, someone whose hands are stained with the bloods of thousands of our fellow Iranians, is currently in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan in Islamabad, alongside J.D. Vance. Let's be very clear, no deals will ever be good enough. No deals will ever be legitimate, and no deals will ever wash the blood of 45,000 plus of our innocent people. Any deals in any country between the Islamic Republic and any other country will forever be illegitimate. For us Iranians, whether inside the country or in the diaspora, the mission is clear. The end of this terrorist regime in its entirety. Everything has an expiry date. The Islamic Republic's expiration is way past its date. Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has called upon us and we have showed up. We are the first country right here in Sydney, Australia to answer the call of the Shah for this protest. From all over Australia, from every state and territory, we come together to be the voice of our fellow compatriots. We are also lucky enough to be accompanied by Iran International, which means that millions of our fellow Iranians inside Iran are hearing us right now. We want them to know that we will always be their voice and call for the total destruction of the Islamic Republic and the return of Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. As they have chanted in the streets of Iran, this is the final battle! Pahlavi will return! This is the final battle! Pahlavi will return! Pahlavi will return! Thank you. I would now like to invite Melika to read the opening statement for us.
Dear President Trump, since January 2026, you have shown your support for the Iranian people on numerous occasions. In January, you supported us as we fought for freedom and warned that if the Islamic regime harmed protesters, that the United States would intervene. In February, you were perhaps the very first US president to publicly draw a clear distinction between the Iranian people and the Islamic regime, and to support us in our right to overthrow this brutal regime. You went as far as encouraging us to take over our institutions, saying this will be probably your only chance for generations. The regime killed at least 45,000 of our compatriots in just 48 hours. You said help was on the way, and we called on you through the painful months of February and March to act. The revolution in Iran began with the people, and it will end with the people. We will ultimately take this victory in our hands and overthrow the Islamic Republic. We Iranians have lived under this tyranny for almost 5 decades, a regime that is executing our brothers and sisters right now, a regime that has lost every shred of legitimacy it has ever claimed. No ceasefire, no agreement, no formula with the remnants of this regime can change that reality. The military operations of recent weeks have weakened the regime's repressive machinery. The playing field is more level than it has ever been in decades. We welcome this. It is what we called for on the streets of Iran and in cities around the world. We are determined to bring this regime down. We have had enough. We have always known that while we welcome and appreciate this international support, we must ultimately finish the job ourselves. We will never and never accept this remnant regime, the same thugs who slaughtered us in the streets just 2 months ago. Ali Khamenei is dead. But the regime has not changed because its nature, its very DNA is unchangeable. This criminal regime is still firing rockets and violating the sovereignty of our neighbors. It is still threatening the United States and Europe. It is still inviting terrorist groups like Hezbollah, Hashad al-Shaabi, and others onto our soil to terrorize us and suppress our protesters. It is still holding us hostage with an internet blackout that has lasted more than a month. You know why? Because this regime fears us. It is terrified of the Iranian people. It fears our righteous anger, a demand for dignity, and a fight for freedom. It fears us because it knows the truth. The right course is to see this through to its conclusion, to continue setting the conditions for us to wage the final battle for liberation, and to ensure that when we gain take control of our streets, the regime can no longer crush us. We have shown this throughout our history that we will fight on. The regime will fall, that is certain. The only question is when and how much more terror, blackmail, and suffering the world is willing to tolerate in the meanwhile. We have spoken. We see Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as our leader in the transition for rejoining the free world and for making Iran great again. A free, democratic Iran restored to its civilization roots is the only path to stability across the region. It will be a country that will coexist amongst its allies, which the international community can work with. It will mean an end to decades of proxy wars, energy coercion, nuclear blackmail, and hostage-taking. We will not quit nor surrender. Instead, we will do what we always do best. We'll follow our history. We follow our patriotic duty. And now, in this very moment, we are making history again. We will reclaim our liberty. We will reclaim our motherland. We hope you stay the course and we hope that you are sincere in your promise to help us. Help us free Iran, and you will free the entire world from terror. This will be your legacy for generations to come.
Regime change for Iran! Regime change for Iran! Regime change for Iran! 47 ساله که شاه ما تک و تنها بر علیه جمهوری تروریستی اسلامی می جنگه. چه اون موقع که بعضا ملت ایران فریب اصلاح طلب ها رو می‌خوردن، اون موقع که دموکرات ها و اروپایی ها با اصلاح طلب ها مماشات می‌کردن. اما الان امروز ملت ایران بیدار شده، ققنوس ایران گرایی از دل خاکستر ایران برخاسته و ما تا پس گرفتن ایران از مبارزه خودمون دست نمی‌کشیم. شما میتونید با اینها معامله کنید، دیل کنید، اما این رو بدونید که ما ایرانمون رو پس میگیریم، شاهمون به ایران برمیگرده و ما دوباره ایران رو به عظمت خودش باز میگردونیم. برای همین فریاد میزنیم This is the final battle! This is the final battle! This is the final battle!
Thank you, everyone. I would now like to invite Dr. Reza Arab from Brisbane to the stage. Dr. Arab is the political advisor of the Emergency Phase booklet. The Emergency Phase booklet is a blueprint which outlines the first 180 days after the fall of the Islamic Republic. This booklet was prepared under the direction of the Crown Prince himself. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Dr. Arab.
Thank you, my friends, for standing here in Sydney before the US Consulate General to echo the voices of Iranians silenced by the Islamic regime's internet blackout. Today, I bring two messages, one for President Trump and one for Prime Minister Albanese. To President Trump, I echo the voice of the Iranian people. Your true allies are the people of Iran. This regime, so long as it remains in power, cannot be trusted. A regime that has held the global economy hostage, that has killed thousands of Iranian protesters, and that has spread instability across the region and the world. And that even now executes innocent citizens while shutting down the internet to silence them, cannot be a partner for peace. Negotiation with such a regime is not just difficult, it is destined to fail. I believe you understand this, because while words may shift, actions reveal truth, and your conduct has shown that you recognize the nature of this regime. The right course, as the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has outlined, is clear: to continue setting the conditions for the people of Iran to wage their final battle for liberation, and to ensure that when Iranians once again rise in the streets, and they will soon, the regime is no longer able to massacre them. You will be remembered for that in the long history of Iran. To Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, for years, we, Iranian Australians, have warned you and your government that the Islamic regime and the IRGC pose a strategic threat to Australia. Those warnings were unheeded until the IRGC carried out at least 2 terrorist attacks here on Australian soil in 2025. Only then did your government act by designating the IRGC as a terrorist organization and expelling the regime's ambassador from Australia. But since that day, we have continued to warn you. This threat is not confined to isolated incidents. It is systemic it is global. The IRGC, as core of the Islamic regime, is a threat not only to Iran, but to international stability and to Australia's security. We urge you to stand with President Trump's maximum pressure campaign and to support all efforts to weaken this regime. Now, the consequences are plain for everyone to see. The IRGC can choke vital geopolitical arteries such as the Strait of Hormuz, disrupting fuel supplies and endangering Australia's economic stability. The Islamic regime can launch drones and missiles across the Persian Gulf and threaten major international hubs, Dubai, Doha, and Abu Dhabi airports, on which Australians rely. Mr. Albanese, in relation to Iran, your government has not only failed to secure Australia's national interest, it has become captive to a narrative that blindly condemns military action regardless of context. But let us be clear. Any action Australia takes in support of the Iranian people and in weakening this regime is not aggression, it is defense. It is an act of responsibility, both for now and for the future. It matters now because removing this threat would help stabilize Australia's economy and secure its vital connection to the world. And it matters for the future because if Australia fails to stand as a reliable ally in this moment, it may find itself standing alone when geopolitical tensions rise in the Indo-Pacific. I understand the weight of prevailing political narratives, but I ask you, when a crisis reaches Australia's own shores, will those same voices you heed today be the ones who defend this nation? Do not in that moment alienate the United States, Australia's principal ally. Mr. Albanese, just as it was a mistake to dismiss the warnings of Iranian Australians before those terrorist attacks, it is a mistake to ignore them now. Listen to the Iranian community in Australia. They understand this regime in ways that no distant analysis can match. They have lived under this regime. They have suffered because of it. They have lost loved ones to it. Listen before it is too late once again. Because history will not remember how you performed in an interview on the ABC today. It will remember whether you safeguarded Australia's security when it mattered most, and whether you chose to listen to the voices of Iranian Australians who warned you time and again, or instead remained in a bubble, detached from the realities of the world as it is. I do not know if this warning will reach you, but if it does, do not take it lightly, as you have before. Iranians welcome the support of all those around the world who choose to stand on the right side of history. We will reclaim our country and we will remember those who stood with us through these profoundly painful days. People gathered here today, united in one shared conviction across Iran and throughout the diaspora. We, the Iranian people, will take back our country, and Pahlavi will return to Iran. Among celebrations the modern world has rarely, if ever, witnessed. Mark my words. پاینده ایران جاوید شاد.
دوستان ما از طریق لنز دوربین آقای محبی و میکروفونشون به واسطه این میتونیم با از طریق میلیون ها نفر در ایران دیده بشیم و شنیده بشیم و چه چیزی زیباتر از این که هموطنانمون بدونن که در زمانی که جمهوری تروریستی اسلامی شرایط رو برای حضور اونها در خیابون‌ها سخت کرده، همونجوری که شاه فرمان دادن ما پرچم مبارزه رو به دست میگیریم و اجازه نمیدیم که ذره جمهوری اسلامی قتل و جنایت خودش رو عادی سازی بکنه. هیچ مرزی وجود نداره بین ما و عزیزانمون داخل ایران. ما مبارزه رو ادامه میدیم و آقای مهدی خواستم که در طول مصاحبه و لایو که انجام میشه بهترین کاری که ما میتونیم انجام بدیم همین شعارهایی که میدیم. فریاد ملت ایران که در خیابون‌های ایران در روزهای 18 و 19 دی طنین انداز شد و 45,000 نفر به خاطر فریادهای آزادیخواهانه خودشون جونشون از دست دادن. پس ما صدای اونها خواهیم بود برای چند دقیقه آینده و فقط شعار میدیم و به مردم ایران میگیم که این مبارزه ادامه داره. برمیگردید دوباره تو خیابون به زودی، چه با ترامپ، چه با بیبی، چه بدون اونا. ما شاه رو داریم، ما پهلوی رو داریم، ما ملت بزرگ ایران هستیم. ما ملت کبیریم، ایران رو پس میگیریم. ما ملت کبیریم، ایران رو پس میگیریم. ما ملت کبیریم، ایران رو پس میگیریم. میجنگیم، میمیریم، ایران رو پس میگیریم. میجنگیم، میمیریم، ایران رو پس میگیریم. میجنگیم، میمیریم، ایران رو پس میگیریم. ننگ بر سپاسه، والا چپی مجاهد. 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 از سیدنی تا تهران جانم فدای ایران. از سیدنی تا تهران جانم فدای ایران. از سیدنی تا تهران جانم فدای ایران. هر یه نفر کشته شه، 1000 نفر کشته شه. هر یه نفر کشته شه، 1000 نفر کشته شه. هر یه نفر کشته شه، 1000 نفر کشته شه. داست شکش امامه، 57 تمامه. داست شکش امامه، 57 تمامه. داست شکش امامه، 57 تمامه. جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه. بگو جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه. بگو جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه. بگو جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه. جاوید جاوید شاه.
دوستان برای مدت شاید 1 تا 2 دقیقه وقتی که لایو میریم قرار خیابون بسته بشه، نه برای مردم بلکه برای فیلمبردارها و کسایی که عکس میگیرن. لطفاً وارد خیابون نشید. اگه کسی وارد خیابون بشه پلیس باش برخورد میکنه. So please don't, everyone please keep off the road for about 2 minutes. Maybe the road's gonna be closed for the camera crew only so that we can capture some videos without the traffic. Please do not enter the streets. Strictly prohibited. Keep off the road. Only camera crew will be allowed on the road. Thank you.
دور نیست اون روزی که عزیزانمون خیابون‌های ایران رو تسخیر کنن. دور نیست. جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه، جاوید شاه. پاینده ایران، پاینده ایران، پاینده ایران. This is the final battle. پهلوی will return. 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 Regime change for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. Regime change for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. Regime change for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. Freedom for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. Freedom for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. Freedom for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi. Democracy for Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Democracy for Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Democracy for Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Unity for Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Unity for Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Alternative for Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi. با همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
با همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
با همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
با همگی پشت سرش
این آخرین نبرده
پهلوی برمیگرده
این آخرین نبرده
پهلوی برمیگرده
این آخرین نبرده
پهلوی برمیگرده
این آخرین نبرده ما ملت کبیریم
اینا رو پس میگیریم
ما ملت کبیریم
اینا رو پس میگیریم
تا امروز فریاد میزدیم مرگ بر خامنه ای و مرگ خامنه ای فرا رسید. بعد از 40 روز هنوز جنازه متعفنش رو نشستن. برای رفتنش و مراسم 40 میگیرن در صورتی که هنوز تو گور نکردنه. ما چه حقارتی بالاتر از این. حالا برای ما رهبر تلاشی میکنید از محمد باقر قالیباف حرف میزنید. ما هم میگیم مرگ بر قالیباف،
مرگ بر قالیباف
مرگ بر قالیباف،
مرگ بر قالیباف
مرگ بر پزشکیان،
مرگ بر پزشکیان
مرگ بر پزشکیان،
مرگ بر پزشکیان
مرگ بر عراقچی،
مرگ بر عراقچی
مرگ بر عراقچی،
مرگ بر عراقچی
مرگ بر سپاهی،
مرگ بر سپاهی
مرگ بر سپاهی،
مرگ بر سپاهی
مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی،
مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی
مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی.
مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی
Down with Islamic Republic!
داوی اسلامی ریپابلیک
Down with Islamic Republic!
داوی اسلامی ریپابلیک
Hey, America, listen. Down with Oliver!
داوی قالیباف
Down with Oliver!
داوی قالیباف
Down with Pedestrian!
داوی پزشکیان
Down with Pedestrian!
داوی پزشکیان
سران سه قوه هنوز به قوت خودشون باقی هست. برای همین ما فریاد میزنیم رژیم چشم بر ایران!
رضا پهلوی
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 رژیم چشم بر ایران!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
دموکراسی بر ایران!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
دموکراسی بر ایران!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
کینگ رضا پهلوی!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
کینگ رضا پهلوی!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Freedom for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Freedom for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Regime change for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Regime change for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Hey, America, listen! This is the final battle!
پهلوی will return
This is the final battle!
پهلوی will return
This is the final battle!
پهلوی will return
Freedom for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Freedom for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
Democracy for Iran!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
And listen again, Javid! Javid!
شاه
Javid!
شاه
Javid!
شاه
Javid!
شاه جاوید شاه جاوید شاه
بگو! 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 ما ملت کبیریم!
ایران رو پس میگیریم
ما ملت کبیریم! ما ملت کبیریم!
ایران رو پس میگیریم.
سفارست خوشحالن که مثلا تونستن برای جمهوری اسلامی دوباره چند سوایی به عمر ننگینش اضافه کنن. برای همین ما فریاد میزنیم ننگ بر سفارست،
ملا چپی مجاهد،
ننگ بر سفارست،
ملا چپی مجاهد،
ننگ بر سفارست.
ملا چپی مجاهد.
داد چکش امامه،
57 تمامه،
داد چکش امامه،
57 تمامه،
داد چکش امامه.
57 تمامه.
این آخرین نبرده،
پهلوی برمیگرده،
این آخرین نبرده،
پهلوی برمیگرده،
این آخرین نبرده.
پهلوی برمیگرده.
هموطنای عزیزمون داخل ایران، ما صدای شما هستیم. ما نمیگذاریم مشعل انقلاب ملی شیر و خورشید ذره‌ای پایین بیاد. بسپرید به ما، بسپرید به ما دیاسپورای ایرانی که همه وجودمون در ایران به جا مونده. ما جای شما میجنگیم تا روزی که شما برگردید به خیابون و دوباره با اون صداهای زیباتون فریاد بزنید جاوید
شاه،
جاوید
شاه،
جاوید
شاه،
جاوید
شاه.
پاینده
ایران،
پاینده
ایران،
پاینده.
ایران.
As the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi has said, Ali Khamenei has been killed, but the regime has not changed. This criminal regime has violated the sovereignty of our neighbors by firing hundreds of missiles and drones at them. It has massacred and terrorized the Iranian people in order to prevent popular protests. I would now like to invite Mrs. Mona Afshar to the stage to talk about how real peace requires the fall of the Islamic Republic. Mona is joining us from Western Australia and has spent 6 hours in the plane in order to be with us here today. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Afshar.
Thank you so much. Wow, such a crowd. Okay. It is an honor to be here amongst you today to represent our state on behalf of the Iranians in Western Australia. I am here to declare the Islamic Republic is not the representative of the Iranian people. We stand today at a crossroads, not just for the Middle East, but for the very soul of the global security. For 5 decades, the world has chased the phantom of stability through a policy of appeasement with a regime that views peace and democracy as weakness to be exploited. Today, I am here to speak a necessary truth. The road to a lasting peace does not lead through Islamic Republic's current hall of power. It leads through their collapse. True peace is not merely the absence of war. It is the presence of justice, the rule of law, and a government that values the lives of its people more than its own survival. The Islamic Republic is not and can never be a partner of peace. A partner does not export terror to every corner of the globe. A partner does not plant for destruction of sovereign nations. A partner does not plant roadside bombs to claim the lives of the brave young men and women of the United States and our allies. So let me remind you that in 2003, the terrorists of so-called Popular Resistance Committee killed 3 US diplomatic personnel in a bombing in Gaza. This group was backed by the Islamic Republic. In 2019, the US Pentagon classified data revealing that the Islamic Republic regime was responsible for the death of at least 603 American service members in Iraq between 2003 and 2011. This accounted for roughly 17% of all US combat fatalities in Iraq during that period. In 2004, drone attacks by the Islamic Republic-backed militia on a US base in Jordan, Tower 22, killed 3 US Army soldiers and wounded over 40. These attacks were attributed directly to the Axis of Resistance, a network of proxies funded directly by the Islamic Republic regime. And in recent escalations, following the outbreak of regional conflict in late 2023, the US military has recorded over 180 attacks against forces in Iraq, Syria, and Jordan by Islamic Republic-linked militia, using drones and rockets, resulting in several fatalities and hundreds of traumatic brain injuries. And these are just a few attacks orchestrated by the Islamic Republic through its proxies named today. From the streets of Tehran to the sands of Iraq and Jordan and the attacks in Sydney, the hands of this regime are stained with the blood of thousands. They have traded the prosperity of the Iranian people for the gray zone of assassination and executions and proxy wars. To negotiate with such a regime is to reward a pyromaniac for occasionally putting out the fires they started. But there is a different path, a better one indeed. The only path that the people of Iran, your true allies, approve. And that is under the leadership of Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi stands not only as a figure of the past, but as a bridge to the future, a symbol of the national cohesion required to transition from a state of terror to a state of law. His call for the secular, democratic Iran is the only viable roadmap to a Middle East where the lion and sun rises to illuminate a region of peace and cooperation. The Iranian people have already made their choice. They have stood unarmed before the bullets of the IRGC, armed only with their voices and their courage. For more than 40 days, they have endured a total internet blackout, cut off from the outside world. Foreign-backed militias, Hashd al-Shaabi from Iraq, and the Fatimiyun bigots from Afghanistan roam the streets, threatening to kill them. Imagine waking up tomorrow in Sydney to find the internet completely gone. No way to reach out to your family, no way to call for help. Now imagine something even worse. Being trapped in your own city, held hostage by violent extremists who could take your life at any moment. Yet, despite this terror, the Iranian people remain unshaken. They stand tall. Yes. They stand fearless and determined to reclaim the 7,000-year-old heritage from a 47-year-old nightmare. And let us be clear, to support the fall of the Islamic Republic is to support the end of the permanent war against not only the Iranian people, but to stop the war against humanity. It is time to move beyond negotiations and maximum pressure and move towards maximum support for the Iranian people and their leadership. When the Islamic Republic falls, the world will not just see the birth of a free Iran, it will see the birth of a safer world. Real peace cannot be achieved by striking deals with a bloodthirsty regime. Engaging with such a government is not only a betrayal of the Iranian people, but also a betrayal of Americans and of humanity as a whole. So, we ask our American friends, if true peace is your goal, shake our hands. We are nation of peace. We are one nation, one flag, one slogan. If true peace is your goal, shake the hands of our leader, King Reza Pahlavi.
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 Thank you.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. After the atrocities of the Holocaust, the Jewish people came together and said, never again. They became so strong as a nation so that no enemy dares to inflict harm upon their people. As Iranians, we have also been experiencing a Holocaust, but for the past 5 decades, which has led us to this very moment to also say, never again. Never again as a nation will we allow our country to be occupied by terrorists. Never again will we allow our people to be victims of radicalism. And never again will we be silenced in the face of repression. Once we reclaim our motherland, we will fight tooth and nail to preserve and to protect our sovereignty. I would like to invite Mr. Mark Leach to the stage. Mark is the co-founder of Never Again Is Now, an Australian movement dedicated to combating anti-Semitism and promoting Jewish community safety. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark to the stage.
How do you know when the IRGC is lying? When their lips are moving. President Trump, as a Jew, as a Christian, as someone who has in my own family experienced the horrors of genocide, I want to say to you, President Trump, that this is a moment in history where we thank you for your moral clarity to stand on the side of good against the unmitigated evil of the IRGC and the Islamic regime. Thank you, President Trump. I want you to know, all of you here who are Iranian and whose family and friends are in Iran at this moment, that this fight against the evil of jihadist Islam that has conquered and crushed your country and held it captive for 48 years, this is not just your fight. In the last week, hundreds of Christians in Nigeria, in the Congo and the Sudan were murdered by the followers of the same ideology. This must be defeated. No negotiation, no ceasefire. Bring down the regime, President Trump. And Prime Minister Al-Badisi, I want to say to you, do not abandon the people of Iran, the people of Israel, for a handful of votes in the western suburbs of Sydney. Mr. Al-Badisi, do not stand on the same side of history as those who said in the 1930s and the 1940s that they had to appease the Nazi regime. This is not a moment for appeasement. This is not a moment for de-escalation. This is not a moment for believing the lies of the IRGC. This is a moment to defeat the evil in Iran and let the people of Iran be free. And Mr. Albanese and President Trump, we need to support the mighty nation of Israel as it dismantles the evil of Hezbollah, Iran's most powerful and organic proxy. The fight against Hezbollah is the fight against the IRGC, and both must be defeated for the peace of the world. Prime Minister Albanese, you cannot claim to be a moral and just leader when you vote at the United Nations to appoint the regime of Iran to an important UN committee that shapes policy on women's rights, human rights, disarmament, and terrorism prevention. Shame, Prime Minister Albanese, shame! Dear friends, the victory will come. Good will triumph over evil. God bless you. God bless Australia. God bless the nation of Iran and the people of Iran. Javid Shah!
Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. There will be a chance. There will be a chance for chance in a short time. But now I would like to invite Mr. Daniel Lekovitz from the host city of Sydney, security and anti-terrorism expert, to come to the stage. Please welcome Mr. Daniel.
Salam!
Salam!
Shalom! G'day! I'm so honored as an Australian and as a member of the Jewish community to stand here in solidarity with the people of Iran. And as I've been standing here listening to inspirational speeches and listening to ordinary good people calling for peace, calling for freedom, calling for democracy, Ubers have been driving past with someone holding a camera like this, taking video of all of us. So, hello to everyone in the regime who wants everybody's photos, but can I suggest, watch it on social media. Because we are all here, we are proud to show our faces. We don't need to cover them with tea towels. We don't need to cover them with masks. Because we know that when you support freedom, when you support democracy, when you support women's rights, when you support humans' rights, you don't need to hide in the shadows. They say democracy dies in darkness. Well, Iran has been living under darkness for far too long. And while everybody can see my face and your faces on social media, the people of Iran have no internet, and that is a disgrace. But we know why. Because just as democracy dies in darkness, freedom and democracy live in sunlight. And there's a flag here that I can see that has a sun on it and a lion on it. Because what will bring around that sunlight is the strength of a lion. And to the people of Iran who will see this somehow because they're very smart, I say keep up the fight, maintain the will, maintain the strength. Because a ceasefire is not an end. It's catching your breath before the final battle that means the regime must fall. But as an Australian, I'm a little bit ashamed at the moment. Because just this week, the UN, their Economic and Social Council, there's a mouthful, once again appointed the Iranian regime to head a human rights committee. In this case, the Program for Coordination, which I kid you not, shapes policy on human rights, women's rights, disarmament and counter-terrorism. And I am ashamed because Australia did not speak out against that nomination. And instead, over the last few days, our foreign minister has been calling for the ceasefire to extend for Hezbollah. Our so-called human rights activists here are far more concerned about the Jewish state executing mass murderers than they are about the Islamic regime executing women who've done nothing wrong at all. But there is one country who spoke out against the United Nations once again disgusting move. And that country was the United States of America under President Trump. So when we have Western activists in Western countries calling for an intifada, marching in the streets in support of Hezbollah, and we have so-called leaders in this country who are far more concerned about votes in Western Sydney or paying a few cents extra for fuel than they are about innocent men, women and children being murdered, then that tells me that it is a country that has lost its way.
Yes.
And there are people in this crowd, just as my ancestors came to this country looking for peace, looking for a safe country, looking for a country that supported human rights, that supported women, that supported minorities, who are now looking in shame and thinking, what happened to Australia? Why do we have government leaders who are treating Hezbollah, the Iranian proxy terrorist organizations, with more respect than they're treating members of our own armed forces? How is that possible? How did that come about? But to President Trump, we say thank you.
Thank you, Trump.
Because 30 years ago,
Thank you.
I stood with a very small group of young Jewish Australians outside the Iranian embassy in Canberra 30 years ago because we knew the regime was no good. And we asked them, we begged them to stop funding terror. And just like Uber drivers today, someone in the embassy took my photo. And I'd say 30 years later, it's probably a great photo. I'd love to get a copy of it. But for 30 years, we heard President Obama, President Clinton, President Bush, Hillary Clinton, all saying what a threat Iran was. Well, what did they do about it? They did nothing. You know who did something? Israel and President Trump. And it is no good for Western nations to stand on the sidelines and say, this is not our problem. Because as soon as you say that democracy, that freedom is not your problem, you don't deserve either. Now, it's not for me, as an Australian, to say who should be running Iran. That is for you to say. Mind you, I keep hearing a name. I think there's a guy that's pretty popular.
Reza Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi.
say, we are with you. We will always be with you. Stand strong, do the right thing, and for the people of Iran, join me in calling for freedom.
King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi!
فراموش کردم بگم علاوه بر لایو شبکه اینترنشنال عزیزان یه لحظه خواهش میکنم علاوه بر لایوی که شبکه ایران اینترنشنال داره از این برنامه برای ایران پخش میکنه شبکه ملی انقلاب ملی شور و خورشید تلویزیون ملی تصورشو بکنید از ایالت وسترن استرالیا 6 ساعت پرواز کردن 10 نفر از بریزبین کوینزلند از تازمانیا از ویکتوریا ساوت استرالیا شبیه ایران شدیم اینجا از اقصا نقاط ایران جمع شدیم تا با هم فریاد بزنیم کینگ رضا پهلوی
King Reza Pahlavi!
کینگ رضا پهلوی
King Reza Pahlavi!
Down with Islamic Republic!
Down with Islamic Republic!
Down with Islamic Republic!
Down with Islamic Republic!
جاوید!
Shah!
جاوید!
Shah!
جاوید!
Shah!
پاینده!
ایران!
پاینده!
ایران!
پاینده!
Iran! Shah!
No, thank you.
Shah! Shah!
We still have a couple of more speeches we have to go through, so sorry, we have to keep the order. Just one quick sentence. Mr. Daniel, once we free Iran, we'll retrieve that photo for you. How about that?
Yay!
Freedom is not free. No one knows this better than the Iranian people. They have already paid an unimaginable price for their freedom. They have shown that they are willing to fight for their freedom, as they have repeatedly chanted, "We will fight, we will die, we will take back Iran." I would now like to invite Mr. Omid Rokni from Melbourne to the stage. Omid is a political activist and a representative of Rise for Iran. Please join me in welcoming Omid to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Iranians and friends, we are not here today for a routine gathering. We are here because history is being written. And our people are writing it with their blood. For decades, the world has asked, what do the Iranian people want? Let me answer clearly. The people have chosen their voice and their leader, not through ballots controlled by a regime, but through resistance, through sacrifice, through courage in the face of brutality. In just 2 days, over 60,000 civilians were killed, and some figures and numbers saying more than 100,000. Men, women, young people who stood in the street and shouted one simple truth. We want freedom. They didn't just speak their beliefs, they wrote them with their blood. This is not the statics, and this is a message to the world. And still the question is asked, who represents the future of Iran? The answer is already emerging from within the nation itself. Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, His Royal Highness Reza Shah II. Not imposed. Not imposed, not manufactured, but chosen through trust, through hope, through a shared vision for a better Iran. a secular Iran, a democratic Iran, an Iran where no government stands above its people. But let us be honest, freedom has a cost. And our people have already paid it. They have paid it with their blood. They have paid it in prison cells. They have paid it under torture. And they have paid with suffer of mothers who lost their children. So when we stand today and say the people have chosen, this is not a slogan. This is a reality forged in sacrifice. And to the world, especially those in power, United States, do not ignore this. Do not turn away. And do not make deals that erase the voice of Iranian people. Because this time is different. This time a nation has risen with clarity, with unity, with a name, a direction, and a vision. They call in the street of Iran Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, His Royal Highness Reza Shah II.
King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi!
And to my Iranian fellows, and to my fellow Iranians, we carry a responsibility to be their voice, to stay united, and to stand firm no matter the cost. Because a free Iran is no longer an unachievable dream. It's a demand, it's a path, and it's coming. This is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. Yes, King is coming back home and keep chanting his name. King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi!
King Reza Pahlavi! Thank you.
King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi! King Reza Pahlavi!
Thank you, everyone. Guys, we don't have a lot of time. If you can please continue with the program, that would be much appreciated. Everyone, please, there will be a chance for more chance. I would now like to invite Mr. Omid Vahidi from Sydney to the stage to talk about the democratic future of Iran, the future which each one of us here are fighting for. Omid is a political activist and co-founder of Mehre Iran. Please welcome Omid to the stage.
My brothers and sisters, before anything, let us remember those who paid ultimate price for Iran's freedom, those who stood with empty hands against bullets, and show the world what courage truly means. Javid! Shah! Javid! Shah! Javid! Shah! We stand here today in front of the United States Consulate, not just to protest, not just to demand action, but to make one thing very clear. Iran is not defined by this regime. Iran is at dawn of a new era. Iran is not broken. Iran is alive. And the future of Iran will not be built by the Islamic regime and will not be destroyed by IRGC wars, by their corruptions or their failures. Because Iran's true foundation is something much deeper. As Leila Nasseri wrote in her recent article, the real infrastructure of Iran is not oil, is not steel, and not buildings. It is culture, it is identity. And it is the idea that have carried this nation for thousands of years. The article explains that Iran stands on 3 pillars. Zoroaster, also known as Zarathustra, who taught us responsibility through good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Cyrus the Great, who showed the world governance based on justice, tolerance, and dignity. And Ferdowsi, who preserved our language, our history, and our soul through the great Shahnameh. This is Iran, and this is why Iran cannot be destroyed. Military bases can be bombed, regimes can fall, corrupt leaders can be sent to hell. But the civilization like Iran does not collapse. That is what the world now understands. We all know when this regime falls, and it will fall. We are not starting from zero. We are rebuilding on thousands of years of identity, culture, and strengths. And we are not without leadership. We have chosen our leader, our voice. Our leader, our voice. A leader who did not abandon Iran. A leader who stood for 47 years. A leader who represents unity, continuity, and a future beyond division. So let me hear you. Freedom for Iran. Democracy for Iran. Regime change for Iran. And it is with thee that we make Iran great again. We are going to build a country where religion is separate from the state and where law governs, not ideology. A secular democratic state. We will rebuild Iran to be the sponsor of liberty instead of terrorism, advocate for human rights instead of oppression, and true partner in the region and in the world. And this transition must be led with stability, with legitimacy, and with unity. That is why we have made our choice. Our leader, our choice. And today, from Sydney to Tehran, from Europe to North America, Iranians are united around one vision. The vision is regime change. That has not happened yet, Mr. Trump. So we are here in front of the US Consulate to repeat the words of His Majesty Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, asking President Trump clearly to stay the course because Iran has made its choice. And the choice is one nation, one flag, one leader. So let us be clear to the world. We are here to separate Iran from the IRGC, from the regime. And we will not stop until Iran is free. Our leader, our voice. Our leader, our voice. Payande. Payande. Javid. Javid. Javid Shah, Javid Shah, Javid Shah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Before we continue to the next speaker, thank you, everyone. We are running 15 minutes behind schedule, so please bear with us. Just before we continue, we have found one set of Ford car keys. If it belongs to you, you have to come up to the stage here, near the stage, and describe to us what's attached to it, and we can hand you over the key. One set of Ford car keys. So if you've lost your car key, come and see us. Now, I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Reza Jangani to the stage to talk about the immense economic opportunities which exist for the United States after the fall of the Islamic Republic. Please welcoming Mr. Reza.
First of all, I will talk in English because we are in front of the US Embassy. My name is Reza Jangani. I'm coming from Brisbane. I have almost 30 years experience in drilling in oil and gas with American company. The reason which I want to talk, I want to remind the government of the United States and President Trump that we are rich people, we have a rich country, we never forget they came to help us, and we always stand for our country because Iranian is always in the history, will winner in the history. We know you spend money, we know your balance sheet of the war. Don't worry about the balance sheet of the war. We have a rich country, richest, one of the richest. We never forget, as the Shahzada Reza Pahlavi said, we never forget whoever helped us. I want a special thanks, I want to make it short. I had a longer speech, but the time is very, very limited here. I want to personally thank from President Trump for their help. We achieved something. The leaders, the IRGC leaders, everybody wiped out. I want to thank Prime Minister Netanyahu for their help, which the Israeli people stood up to support Iran. And as an Iranian Australian, proudly, I want to thank Prime Minister Albanese and Secretary Penny Wong, as Australia was the first country in the world to shut down this embassy of IRGC. Now I want to switch to channel 2. I just need 1 more minute. I want to go to second channel to talk to my patriots who are here in my own language. میخوام باهاتون دلی صحبت کنم. لطفا توجه کنید خانم آقایون. میدونم همتون شوکه شدین که سیزفایر شده، من نمیدونم پشت سیاست چی میگذره، ولی ناامیدی ممنوعه، خستگی ممنوعه. ما کشته داریم، تا آخرش هم میریم. پاینده، پاینده، جاوید، جاوید، خستگی، ناامیدی، پاینده، تا آخرش ما میریم. ما نیومدیم که برگردیم. همه تونو دوست دارم.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Everyone, thank you. Thank you. I would now like to invite Dr. Enzi Izzat from Hobart to the stage to talk about the nature of the Islamic regime in Iran. No regime change has taken place, President Trump. The Islamic Republic is still in power and is ruling through fear and terror. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Izzat.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here to represent Tasmanian Iranian community. Today, let us speak with honesty. The change has not happened yet. The regime is still standing on blood, fear, and a nation kept in chains. Today, I do not speak about politics. I speak about people. A nation left alone in a total digital blackout. After decades of suffering, purpose, and sacrifice, and the blood of our young people in the streets, the same machinery of repression remains. This regime has survived not because it's legitimate, but because it rules through terror, through midnight arrest, through torture, through sham trials, through execution means to terrifying the nation into silence. The prisons are still full. The arrest and execution continues. Now, inside Iran, young men and women are detained, not knowing if tomorrow will be the last sunrise. What is their crime? Asking for freedom, asking for dignity, asking for a normal life. And to the world, let us say this clearly. This is not only Iran tragedy. This is a warning. While the Iranian people are unarmed, the regime built underground missile cities. While mothers bury their children, the regime expands its nuclear ambitions. While citizens struggle to survive, billions are spent on repression, weapons, and destabilization. This is not only a threat to Iranians, this is a threat to regime. This is a threat to global security. The Iranian people are not asking much from the world. They are asking the world not to ignore them, not to legitimize those they never freely chose, not to negotiate away their future, especially with someone still has blood of our young uni students in his hands. And yet, despite everything, the Iranian people still fight. That courage is why we are still here. Not to pretend change has already happened. Not to comfort ourselves with a temporary false hope, but to say clearly, we want real change, full change, a free Iran. We do not want this superficial modification while the same structure of fear remains. We want an Iran built on justice, dignity, and freedom. And for many of us, that future needs a clear and trusted leadership in this moment of transition. That is why today many of us raise our voice for Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Not because one person alone can free a nation, but because in times of uncertainty, nation needs unifying figure who can help guide the country's safety towards democracy, stability, and national dignity. For many Iranians, he represents continuity, responsibility, and a peaceful path forward. Because people of Iran called his name in January. So today, let our message to be heard. From here, Sydney to Tehran to Washington and beyond, the regime still stands, but it will not stand forever. Censorship cannot erase the truth. Prison cannot silence a nation. Fear cannot defeat people who have remembered who they are. The final decision must always belong to the Iranian people. To the people of Iran, you are not alone, and we will not stop. And to the regime, your time will not last forever. Iran belongs to its people, and one day soon, we will take our Iran back. Payande Iran Javid Shah.
Thank you. As President Trump recently pointed out, Iranians live in a world that people living in the West know nothing about. I would like to invite Mr. Hadi Jadidi from Adelaide to the stage to talk about the Iranian people. Please welcome Hadi.
درود. به نام ایران، من حامل درود و سپاس ایرانیان وطن پرست استرالیای جنوبی هستم برای تک تک شما عزیزان، از سرتاسر ایران و سرتاسر استرالیا. پیام کوتاهی برای جمهوری کثیف اسلامی. در مملکت چو غرش شیران گذشت و رفت، این اوعو سگان شما نیز بگذرد. آن کس که اسب داشت غبارش فرو نشست، گرد سم خراب شما نیز بگذرد. This is a message to the citizens of the free world. People of the world, Today I speak to you about Iranians, not about our history or our culture, and not even about our suffering under the brutal regime. Today, I want to tell you what we are not. We are not the Islamic Republic. We do not hate the modern world and Western values. We mourned with you on 9/11. We cried with you on the October the 7th. We stood with Australia after the Bondi attack because we understand terror. We have lived under it for decades. But hear this clearly. The voice you hear from inside Iran is not always the voice of Iranian people. The regime shuts down the internet because they know how deeply they are hated. While millions of Iranians are silenced, a small privileged group speaks in the media. Do not mistake their voice for ours. What you hear from the mainstream these days is not the true will of the Iranian nation. We want freedom, dignity, and a normal life, just like any other nation, just like we had before the Islamic Revolution. We are simply fighting to take back what was stolen from us in 1979. People of the world, we are not asking anyone to bring us democracy. Not President Trump, not Prime Minister Netanyahu, not anyone else. We know what we want. We know our path, and we know our future. But what we face is a brutal regime that kills without hesitation and respects no human or moral principle. So we ask for one thing: help us remove this regime from our path, and the final step will be ours. With you or without you, we will free Iran. We have shown our determination by chanting Javeed Shah! Javeed Shah! Javeed Shah! Javeed Shah! Javeed Shah! Which means Long live the Shah! Long live the Shah! But we ask you to stand with the people of Iran, not with the regime. Stand on the right side of the history. Thank you.
I would like to invite a familiar face, Mr. Ali Begzadeh, also known as Ali Green and White, to talk about the Free Iran. Ali is an environmental activist and political advocate. I'm sure many of you are familiar with him. Everyone, please welcome Ali to the stage.
Javeed! 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 Javeed!
All right, we don't have much time today, so I'm going to keep this nice, short, sweet and concise. And I'm going to give a direct and short message to Mr. President Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, I want you to take a good look around yourself. I want you to open your eyes and take a good look around the globe, inside of Iran and outside of Iran. Mr. President, I want you to look directly in the eyes of an Iranian person. What do you see? I'll tell you what you see, Mr. President. You see an individual that comes from the oldest surviving nation in the globe, that is Iran. President, when you look into the eyes of an Iranian, you will see an individual who is grateful, who embraces the very values and principles that you subscribe to, such as democracy, such as secularism, such as tolerance, such as classical liberalism, such as love, such as friendship, such as peace. All we ask today as the Iranian people, that we are allowed to embrace these values in our own ancestral homeland, Iran. And we cannot do that with one obstacle in the way. The greatest existential threat, the greatest terroristic regime that is existent today. The Islamic regime occupying Iran. The Islamic regime occupying 90 million beloved Iranians. Mr. President, when you look into the eyes of an Iranian, you will see a patriotic people, so patriotic that you will see no Iranian rally around the globe that doesn't have an American flag, an Israeli flag, an Australian flag in the case of the corresponding nation that we reside in, alongside the traditional ancient lion and sun emblem of Iran. Mr. President, all we ask that we are allowed to fly the lion and sun emblem in Iran. So, Shah, Javid, 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 our leader, our voice, our leader, our voice, freedom for Iran, freedom for Iran, freedom for Iran. Democracy for Iran! Democracy for Iran! Democracy for Iran! Democracy for Iran! Alternative for Iran! Alternative for Iran! Alternative for Iran! Alternative for Iran. This is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. This is the final battle. 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 Peace, freedom, dignity, Iran, US, Israel. 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 No internet, no witness. They are killing in silence. No internet, no witness. They are killing in silence. No internet, no witness. They are killing in silence. No internet, no witness. They are killing in silence. No internet, no witness. They are killing in silence. Javid! 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 مرگ بر سفاسد! مرگ بر سفاسد! این آخرین نبرده! این آخرین نبرده! این آخرین نبرده! این آخرین نبرده! جاوید شاه جاوید شاه جاوید شاه جاوید شاه جاوید شاه جاوید شاه بگو 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 My deal,
IRGC now. No deal, no talks. 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 Freedom for Iran, King Reza Pahlavi. Freedom for Iran. Freedom for Iran. Democracy for Iran. Democracy for Iran. Democracy for Iran. Unity for Iran. Unity for Iran. Unity for Iran. Unity for Iran. Our leader, our voice. Our leader, our voice. Our leader, our voice. Our leader, our voice.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Our leader, our voice.
King Reza Pahlavi.
Our leader, our voice. Trump, don't delay. Meet Pahlavi today. Trump, don't delay. Meet Pahlavi today. Trump, don't delay. Trump, don't delay. Meet Pahlavi today. Trump, don't delay. Trump, don't delay. No deal, no talks. Target IRGC now. No deal, no talks.
Target IRGC now.
No deal, no talks.
Target IRGC now.
این آخرین نبرده.
پهلوی برمیگرده.
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 قسم به خون یاران.
ایستاده ایم تا پایان.
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 ما ملت کبیری.
ایرانو پس میگیریم.
ما ملت کبیری.
ایرانو پس میگیریم.
ما ملت کبیری.
ایرانو پس میگیریم.
از سیدنی تا تهران.
جانم فدای ایران.
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 جاوید.
شاه.
جاوید.
شاه. شاه. شاه.
شاه میاد به کشورش. شاه میاد به کشورش.
کل ایران پشت سرش.
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 کینگ رضا پهلوی.
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 می جنگیم میمیریم ایرانو پس میگیریم. می جنگیم میمیریم
ایرانو پس میگیریم.
می جنگیم میمیریم
ایرانو پس میگیریم.
می جنگیم میمیریم
ایرانو پس میگیریم.
زیباست به این شکل متحد بودن. از سر تا سر استرالیا جمع بشیم تا پاسخ بدیم به فراخوان شاهمون و بگیم که ادامه داره این مبارزه. ما پیروز این نبرد هستیم و مطمئنیم این آخرین نبرده.
پهلوی برمیگرده.
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 به من گفتن که چرا میگی ننگ بر سه فاسه. اصلشو بگو. درست میگم. اگه اونا مرگ ایران و ایرانی میخوان پس ما فریاد میزنیم مرگ بر سه فاسه.
ملت بی مجاهد. مجاهد
دهشتکش امامه
57 امامه
دهشتکش امامه
57 امامه
دهشتکش امامه
57 امامه
دهشتکش امامه
57 امامه
این آخرین نبرده
پهلوی برمیگرده
این آخرین نبرده
پهلوی برمیگرده
شاه میاد به کشورش ما همگی پشت سرش شاه میاد به کشورش
ما همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
ما همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
ما همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
ما همگی پشت سرش
شاه میاد به کشورش
ما همگی پشت سرش
جاوید
شاه
جاوید
شاه
جاوید
شاه
جاوید
شاه
پاینده
ایران
پاینده
ایران
پاینده
ایران
فراموش نکنیم که ما ملت کبیریم
ایران و پس
ما ملت کبیریم
ایران و پس بگیریم
ما ملت کبیریم
ایران و پس بگیریم
میدونم که نمیخوایم این لحظه های با شکوه تموم بشه میخوایم ادامه بدیم میخوایم صدای ملتمون باشیم اما متاسفانه مجبوریم یواش یواش شروع کنیم پک کردن میریم سرود ملی اینا رو بشنویم عزیزان به هم قول بدیم به هم قول بدیم که انتقام خون 45,000 همیهنمون رو بگیریم به هم قول بدیم که شاهزادمون رو شاهمون رو به ایران برگردونیم اون روز دور نیست سرود ایران رو باید گوش میکنیم با هم میخونیم فریاد میزنیم جانمون فدای ایران
ایران ای مرز پرگوهر
She got a
can you please return them near the stage here? One last chance. No Gaza, no Lebanon, freedom, freedom for Iran.
No Gaza, no Lebanon, freedom, freedom for Iran. No Lebanon, freedom, freedom for Iran. No Gaza, no Lebanon, freedom, freedom for Iran.
دوستانی که پرچم یا پوستر قرض گرفتن ممنون میشم اگه به بغل استیج بیارن تا ما بتونیم برای برنامه‌های آینده هم استفاده کنیم. به نوبه خودم تشکر میکنم از تمام کسایی که امروز تشریف آوردن. با امید آزادی ایران، پاینده ایران، جاوید شاه.
Donald Trump, a man who keeps his word, a man who shapes history, be heard, a man who came to help Iran, hear the voice of Allah, hear the voice of Iran today. We thank you, we stand and say, brothers for Iran, stand with peace upon the
دوستان عزیز از ویزه لطفا بیایید پای استیج عکس بگیرید.
Donald Trump, a man who keeps his word, a man who shapes history, be heard, a man who came to help Iran, hear the voice.
Shah! Iran! 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 Iran!
I left the Lord for